Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Community Coffee, where you can have a drink of information. We're here today to give you a lot of wonderful information concerning our wonderful veterans. Community Coffee started with actually a conversation between me and Chris and another friend of ours. And we decided to bring it forth. So we are here today, and we have some wonderful guests today. My goodness.
We finally got T.
I was about to say, we finally got the T. Huling, actually here in person. We've been waiting on this moment for a long time.
We've done 2 or 3 before this.
Yes. But she is finally here, and I promise you, you won't regret the wait, because she's worth the wait. So we are going to have an exciting show today, and I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves before we get started. And we'll start out with the founder of Mr. Chris Montonya of the Heroes Foundation. Go ahead, Chris, it's on you.
Hey everyone, appreciate you coming, you attending. My name is Chris Montonya with the Heroes Foundation. Happy to be here, happy to be part of it. Excited that we have T finally showing up and Mr. Ronald Abrams. So I'll let them introduce themselves.
Well, ladies first.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, so I don't know about great, just okay, T. Huling, but Veteran Employer Liaison with Texas Veteran Liaison with Texas Veteran Commission. It's my first time, so I'm going to be nervous. I work with employers to hire veterans, so basically I tell employers all the great things and phenomenal things that veterans bring to the table, and I assist them with getting veterans on board, because we make a great staff, great workforce. Veterans rule the world. We lead everything, lead from the front. I have to do it. Ooh, Marines. I'm just glad to be here today. And like you said, I finally made it. Texas Veteran Commission is back in the workforce. We have returned to the office. Ron?
Quick question though. You said Marine Corps. How many years did you do?
20 years active, you know.
20 years. Retired. Very
I was
good.
Mark, but we're on camera.
Very good. No rivalry here. No rivalry. My name is Ronald Abrams. I'm the District Outreach Coordinator for the Texas Veterans Commission here in North Texas District. And essentially it's my job to speak to as many service organizations that offer services for veterans, whether it be transportation, healthcare, mental health, anything of that nature. But more importantly, I try to build those collaborative efforts and those collaborations, friendships, partnerships with those organizations so that we can broaden our reach, so to speak. I think the industry term is the footprint, make it bigger and reach out a whole lot more veterans out there. But essentially that's what I do.
Work on my intro, that was good. Okay.
Awesome. And I didn't even introduce myself. So I'm Kevin Belcher. I'm a former Army vet. Ooh.
I'm surrounded.
We got you.
Okay.
I did fail to mention that.
Yes.
I did retire Army myself.
There you go. Another retired
Aerosol.
Army vet.
Aerosol.
Yes, absolutely. And I also am a senior human resource analyst with the city of Dallas and the first vice president of our veteran employee resource group. So we do a lot of things. We love trying to help veterans in any way we can. That's why we are actually here today. We all have the same interest in helping our community and our veteran community especially in this time. And so we're going to talk about certain things about what we can do to help you. I like to start, since I already got the mic, with look, go, you know, if you need employment, we have a host of jobs. We love veterans right now. Currently, we have over 1,000 veterans working with the city of Dallas, and we would like to double that number. So if you would love to work at a place where you can actually get vested in 5 years, get this y'all, 5 years is all it takes to be vested, to be a recipient of a pension. Yes, that's right. You don't hear that word that often these days. So yeah, the city does actually still have a pension plan. So, and it only takes you 5 years to be vested. So go to www.dallascityhall.com and find yourself some employment at the city of Dallas. I'm here today to promote the city as well because, of course, that's my employer. So come out. Log on, get you a job. We typically have over 100 different jobs every week throughout the whole year. I don't know why that number never changes, because we hire thousands of people all the time, but for whatever reason, you can go on the website every Monday and there's new jobs posted, and it's usually anywhere between 90 and 100 plus jobs on the website. And that means, and I mean, they're from the lower level all the way up to the executive level. So join us, come on in and log on to www.dallascityhall.com and get yourself a job. You be one of the ones to make that veteran number go up, okay?
I don't think the Army's changed over the years either. Our commercials still say over 250 career fields.
Yeah.
Never changed.
And you would think with technology and all of the different things that have evolved that there would be more titles.
You would think so. You would think so. But they reserve those jobs for the special folks. No, I'm joking.
I say, Marine Corps, we have new titles, but okay. Army, we have new titles.
Well, speaking of new titles, I know this is the July 4th edition. What are the Army and the Marines doing to help support those that are transitioning out into the civilian workforce?
Oh, wow. Myself? Okay, so there's a lot of things going on that they're helping them transition to now. There's a OBTT program, which is almost similar to a TAP program, but now it's for everybody that's already gotten out. It's for veterans, it's for veteran spouses. They're traveling all over to all the workforces, giving you that information that you didn't quite get in TAP or you didn't pay attention to, or you were just in a rush to get out, so you weren't listening. I don't remember a thing I learned in TAP. I just was ready to retire. So now they're going back out and they're sharing that, and hopefully we'll have that speaker come in soon. But they now also have a lot of skill bridge programs. That's for people that are navigating their way out, that they can do jobs, say at Wells Fargo and all sorts of places have skill bridge programs now. Learn how to be a mechanic, taking your mechanic skills, navigating them into Mercedes-Benz. They have apprenticeship programs now. There's even programs while you're still on active duty, so many weeks out from retiring or getting out, that you can go work a civilian job, see if that's the job for you, and then by the time you retire or get out, that job is sitting there open.
So how does an employer know? So for instance, a lot of what I do is front end. A lot of it, what I do is contraction to, like one of my current projects is Domino's Pizza. In talks about developing a military veteran initiative based on the fact that they need CDLI drivers. I mean, there's a scarcity of employment. A market pilot is in Quantico with the Marine base, and so the difficulty is how, if civilians like myself that have the best of intentions still, how do we know, like, where should we go to get this information or to find who our partners are, who we can say, these are open jobs, how can we promote ourselves, or promote our positions that we're hiring, that we want to offer opportunities.
Right. So there's a lot of different locations you can go. You can go to DOL to find out about the skills bridge and the apprenticeship. You can reach out to the base. If there's an individual on base that does the job fairs there, get into the job fairs there, get your booths there, reach out to the workforces. All workforces, just about every workforce has a veteran career advisor in there. They have a veteran employer liaison who's going to be able to navigate to get you in the hands of somebody that's going to help you get those jobs in the Work in Texas database. You can go on the TVC website. They've now got this new directory in there to find resources near you. So as an employer, you can just go on the TVC website, pull it up, you put in a request, they follow up with somebody close to you, me, and I reach out to you and see how can I help you. Can I do a showcase for you? Can I do a job fair for you? Can I tell you when the job fairs are going to happen? And we will assist all employers trying to fill their vacancies.
and I like to piggyback on T also, military.com, one website you can go to pretty much get anything and everything you need to know about transition, about jobs, anything that you need, any assistance that you need concerning veterans. Just log on to military.com and it's all right there. It's there. They have everything there.
One thing I will say about the Texas Veterans Commission, there's a little over 220 counties within the state of Texas. You'll find one of our representatives in at least 28 of those counties. And from those 28 counties, we're able to branch out and reach the veterans within that particular community. So if you are a transitioning veteran and you need help with your resume, your interview techniques, business dress, even if you want to start your own business, we have a Veterans Entrepreneur Program. We'll even show you how to do your business plan. They say location, location, location. You know, when you want to try to choose the place where you want to, start your business or build your business. But we'll teach you all that for free. Everything is for free.
Practice.
Yes, and we are funded by the Department of Labor. As a matter of fact, we're grant funded. We are a nonprofit organization. However, we fall under the auspices of the workforce commissions. So we're occupying all of the unemployment offices or workforce solutions offices. And so if you attest to the fact that you are a veteran, you're moved to the front of the line. There's no waiting. One of the veterans representatives will come out and reach you, bring you back into the office, and basically help you overcome any significant barriers you may have to find employment.
Definitely.
So it's super easy. But I think one of the better places is to come to us first. Because during the transition assistance program, before a person gets out of the military or transitions, they have to go through that TAP program, transition assistance program. And that's where they first learn how to do their resumes and things of that nature. And as T was saying, sometimes it's given to you at a rapid pace. You can't keep up sometimes. We've all gone through it. Even when I transitioned, a lot of that stuff I forgot as soon as I walked out of the classroom. But what's great about the Texas Veterans Commission is you're able to have all that slowed down for you by sitting down with a veterans representative, to include the OBTT.
Yes.
They'll do the same thing. They'll slow it down for you. And the reason why I like the fact that they've come into existence is because if we're just too far away from you, you can talk to one of the representatives from the OBTT program if they're closer. So it's a myriad of ways to overcome that barrier and to get reach out to the veterans that you're looking for too.
And the one thing I love about the TVC, Texas Veterans Commission, is not only your work for the job seeker or the entrepreneur, but the companies. Can you talk a little bit about the work that you do for, because I know we had a training event last week, and the TVC is always open to supporting any kind of internal training for companies, for recruiters, for HR, things that would kind of close the gap. You have the employment, and then the other aspect is the recruiters, civilians like myself that have a heart but may not know the acronyms, may not know the language.
Yes.
Can you both talk a little bit about that?
We do employer training. There's a lot of companies that have been there forever, but recruiters, they transition. Somebody could work for a nonprofit, somebody could work for someplace else. We will go in and train them on, say, using ONET, or how do you know when somebody comes in and does a resume and they say they're motor T. You're like, oh, so you're a mechanic, you do motors. That's not what motor T is. Yeah, it's motor transportation, but what motor transportation is in the Marine Corps might be different in the Army. And then a lot of things fall underneath that. So we go in and help them translate. We show them where to look to see what somebody's job is. Somebody could have had 5 or 6 jobs like I did. So I have a number of different things, how to look that up. We explain the rank structure, an individual that's a non-commissioned officer, what the type of people they're in charge of, or a lieutenant, we explain all that. We tell them about work opportunity tax credit, which I call the WIFM. What's in it for me? The employer's like, the WIFM.
But it's a sale. Eh?
It's a sale. That's the biggest thing, because the employer's
My
like,
ROI.
okay, we got it. Veterans are great. They're wonderful. They're loyal. What else? You can get a tax credit. Money. They're like, okay, now talk to me. I can get money. So we tell them about that. And, we just sit down and navigate for them, telling them, how to treat an individual maybe that just came back from a deployment. They're not all crazy like some people might think. They're normal people too. You don't have to watch the words you say, but certain acronyms they might drop. Here's what they mean. And again, different branches might say different things. We might act a certain way. How we interview might be different from the average person. So we just go in and we help them get ready for all that. We also let them know about different awards that are available for employers. I tried to do one on the City of Dallas. They're a government entity. They're huge, but they're constantly working to hire veterans. At any time I can say, I want to have a job fair with the City of Dallas. And they will roll up, they'll put everything out. If you go to a job fair, you're liable to see about 3-4 tables that are City of Dallas.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's civil, they are across the board supporting veterans all the time. So I just continue to try to work to bring the information to employers, what veterans have, how to understand veterans, how to work with veterans. And we'll come to a facility, do a walk around and say, this veteran would be great in this particular facility. This is the kind of veterans you want for this. So yeah, that's what we do.
So for that employer that is kind of having problems or having a hard time filling positions, how can you help that person? How can you help that company?
I think the first step is that resume. Our veteran career advisors, we help them translate a lot of that military jargon into civilian jargon. So when they read that job description, they know, number one, what that company is looking for and how it translated to all those acronyms that he had on there originally, or that particular veteran. So we help them translate all that, and that's how we're able to get those veterans matched up with the jobs that you have.
Yes.
As long as they understand that job description and what those meanings are in your industry, they can see how it translated to the type of experience they had in the military. And I do have to apologize. We gave an acronym in the beginning, the OBTT.
Oh.
That's Off-Base Transition Training
Thank you.
Program.
Yeah.
So we apologize if we're
Sorry.
throwing these acronyms at you as well. So
We tend to still do that.
It's the norm. It's the norm for vets. So yeah. So I'm glad you caught that, because I was going to bring that up next.
Gotcha.
Sure. I love it. I love it.
So while he's checking that question, and I was giggling while Ron was discussing, so our veteran career advisors are invaluable. Again, I work with employers to hire veterans, but in the workforce centers, there are veteran career advisors. So they're going to prime that veteran before they send the resume to me to give to an employer. And I'm just reminded there was a veteran under the name and the email and all that. For job description in that summary, he put sniper. First word, sniper. Immediately, I'm a little fearful. So we're like, okay, well, yes, that wasn't your job title, because that's not a job title. Sniper, at least not in the Marine Corps, it's not. We're gonna help you translate that. So they won't immediately walk out of the room in the interview, because immediately they're gonna, security nearby, sniper. No, you have skills, okay? You're able to be in charge of people, you're a leader, obviously you had a whole team that was under you. We're gonna highlight some of those skills. Yes, unless you want to be a fire range instructor, we're not going to lead on your resume with sniper.
And that's why I got into what I did about 6 or 7 years ago. My father, he's a Marine, served in Vietnam, very proud Marine. But transitioning, even with his degree from University of El Paso, there wasn't anything, they didn't understand his experience in the military. Like, as soon as he came out, I don't know how that applies to me. So immediately, even with a degree in hand, he's putting a forklift at Safeway in El Paso. So I understand that that's the same, it's almost a mirror as what my dad's experience was when he came out and tried to find a job. Suit and tie, take your jacket off, you can hop on that forklift over there and help us out load the warehouse.
Exactly. That resume, if you don't have it right, you can end up in a job that you do not want.
Okay, I have a question from Jennifer G in the chat.
Okay.
And her question is, what is the TVC and TWC doing to centralize support for companies with multiple locations across the state? Right now, we have to engage with each and every rep across the state, which can even be multiple reps within a single city. So,
Okay, Jennifer, you trying to challenge us this morning? Okay.
Shout out to Jennifer
I know. Thank you, Jennifer. I need more
Well done.
coffee.
Well done.
I know. Okay. Jennifer. Throw on my thinking cap for this one. I can't speak to what everyone does. I work with my TWC rep in my workforce. We work together hand in hand to avoid some of those issues you might be having. So in most centers, I think most veteran employer liaisons work with their workforce partner. And if they don't, you can't request that. For individuals that are in Houston, El Paso, San Antonio, we have the capability of doing joint things for you. One person can put your things in work in Texas in each area, but to do a showcase, we can all come together and do one showcase for you and invite everybody from all of our areas to that one showcase. Rodney,
Greenwood.
Rodney,
Greenwood.
not that Rodney. Rodney Washington. Rodney Washington is very good at doing showcases for large employers who have jobs in so many different places. And what he does is he goes on LinkedIn and he'll tag me, he'll tag Ron, he'll tag a bunch of different people. I'm having a showcase for such and such. They have jobs all over. And then we in turn reach out to our veterans in our areas and invite them to that showcase. So now you're getting veterans from all sorts of different areas into your one showcase. And any of us are capable of doing that. So hopefully that answered your question. If not, maybe we can put my email in the chat and I can respond later.
And if I can expound on that.
yes.
We're called Veteran Career Advisors within the Workforce Solutions offices. But we're called that here, but in our grant that we get from, or that we fall under from Department of Labor, we're Disabled Veteran Outreach Program Specialists, right?
Okay.
In every unemployment office throughout the country, I hate doing air quotes, but in every unemployment office across the country, there is a DVOP, or Disabled Veteran Outreach Program Specialist, within those offices throughout the country. So, oh, and also we have the LEVER, right?
Thank you.
Local Veteran Employment Representative. So in every unemployment office, we're there. We're throughout the country. We do things a little bit differently here in Texas. In fact, a lot of the folks call it the Texas model because of how specialized we get when it comes to helping the veteran. However, in order to get your jobs, greatly populated or greatly distributed across the country that you're offering within your state, just visit the unemployment office, ask for the vet rep or the veteran's representative, and that local veteran employment representative can get your job heavily advertised within your area and across the country. And more than likely, they're going to reach out to us. Chris Belcher, he just came from Tennessee, just moved out here, and now he's a local veteran employment representative. There's a person that reached out to him through the email and LinkedIn to advertise a specific job that we have offered here. So we do have collaborations throughout the states as well. So again, just utilize those contacts and we can get your jobs advertised very easily.
And we can network you to somebody out of state. We have a list. There's a gentleman, can't remember his name. He sends us an Excel spreadsheet of almost all 50 states with names of individuals that do what we do in Texas in different states. So if you contact me, I can tell you the me in Florida.
Huh.
Because I want everybody to be serviced. No, Texas is number one. I'm not from Texas. Texas is number one. Don't hate on me because I'm from Cali.
But I think Ron made a great point. They're funded by the Department of Labor. And I don't think a lot of employers understand that or know that this is free. At the employer, it doesn't cost us anything. And the showcase that she's talking about, I've used at Kraft with Chris Baxter. He helped me with Kraft Foods in Garland. You supported the city of Dallas with hired events, and it's all been free. Utilizing the federal, state, and local resources that are available to us. And the showcase is more of a co-branded. How can the TVC, how can the TWC come together to expand a company's reach, expand your talent pool, kind of give you access to talent that maybe you wouldn't have had the opportunity of reaching just by a job posting. And the great thing about T and Mr. Abrams, they can advise you. They can take a look under the hood. What jobs do you have? What are you doing? What's your interview process looking like? How do we engage your recruiters? Because in a sense, they become, as in the corporate world, agency recruiters. Agency recruiters are usually, external, and they're usually charged a fee per placement. Here, it is absolutely free. They'll advise you, they'll recruit on your behalf, they'll submit you candidates just like an agency would, and at no cost. Because the only thing they're going to ask for, which is huge, which is awesome, is stats. Did they get an interview? Did they get hired? And then if you can actually aggregate your culture, your population of veteran against your employer workforce, you're eligible for awards. The TVC will give you yearly awards for hiring, for placements, for having, I think is it 10%?
For the American Legion Award, you need 10% veteran staff. For the DAV, you do not. So, and then the TVC award as well. So there's 3 award categories that we can submit you for: small, medium, large employer. We submit the workforces. But yeah, if you're an employer and you have a heart to hire veterans, and you're trying, you're out there going to every job fair, you have veteran policies, veteran procedures, you have a dedicated veteran recruiter. Those are things that we're looking for to nominate you for an award. And if you win, you get to go to conference, they present it to you, you get a nice plaque, you can add it to your website, like, look, I got the American Legion Award, we're looking for you, we hire you, we support you, it's bragging rights. So yeah, if you've been doing that, then you need to find one of us so we can get you submitted. There's also the medallion program, that's in Work in Texas as well, and that shows everyone. It's got a little emblem there that says this person went above and beyond to get veterans. And all of that, when veterans see that, they know this is a potential place I can call home. And it's a loyalty thing. If a veteran gets out and comes to your company and they see that you're dedicated to them, they will be dedicated to you. We are loyal. If we get somewhere and we're loved and we feel the family environment and you pay, we'll stay. We'll stay and we'll be loyal to you. We become part of your family.
And if I may, you mentioned the fact that everything is free. I love the fact that we're helping you get those resumes done for free as well. That's one of the biggest things I appreciated when I transitioned. And I want to pose a question to everyone in the chat. What is the purpose of a resume? If you know the answer, put that in the chat, and we'll check those out. As a matter of fact, if our folks in the back, if you can just throw something out there. But I'm wondering what people are thinking out there. What's the purpose of that resume?
First answer is probably going to be to get a job.
True.
Most individuals would say that, but it can also prevent you from getting a job.
Oh yes.
I think it does more of that than anything else.
Right.
Most applicant tracking systems are geared towards weeding out.
They are. The applicant tracking system is a class unto itself. It should be a college course. It's that lengthy, it's that in-depth, but it is that one thing that will veto you and keep you from moving forward at all, and no one will see how great you are, because that machine will just throw you away. You can just imagine going through a shredder. That's how it's going to chew you up if you don't know and you don't speak to a veteran career advisor.
Well, I think that's the most important part, because even the back end, even if they make it past the applicant tracking system, most civilian recruiters, what is this stat? 7 seconds to review a resume.
Yes.
And if we don't see it on the corporate side, because one thing that we're governed by is our hiring managers. We have stats from the point, how many applications do we receive, how many, the funnel, the conversion process. And once we submit to the hiring manager, that conversion, which is the submittal to the interview. Because if it's a low percentage and it looks like we're just throwing stuff at the hiring manager, they get frustrated. Stop wasting my time. So we have to kind of, that conversion between the submittal and interview, if it's high, we know what we're doing, the hiring managers trust us, and we earn that trust long term. So if we take a look at a resume for 7 seconds, And I was always taught, because I started as an IT recruiter 12, 13 years ago, if it takes you more than 10 seconds to understand, move on.
Wow.
So, and that's where the corporate training, I think, comes into play that y'all do, which is massive. I think training's, people that never served to understand and to take a second look and say, okay, well, let me just, the rank. What does that translate? Is it an entry level? Is it a senior level? Is it a manager? How do I sell it to my hiring manager?
Exactly.
You've got people, go ahead.
So Desiree B says, introducing yourself, qualifications, skills to land the interview. Latasha E says, to showcase your skills on paper. Darius J says, a resume is giving a story to condense your skills and knowledge.
Nice answers.
Shout out to everyone who
I know.
Yeah, those are all good.
But that first one, what was her name?
Desiree.
Desiree, yeah.
Shout out to you, Desiree. If we had gifts, we could send them to you.
Have a great day.
But you hit the nail on the head. The purpose of a resume is to get you the interview. It doesn't get you the job, which is, again, goes back to the applicant tracking system. No longer are recruiters reading resumes now. That's why they say upload your resume, so that the computer can read and look for those key words that are so important and that are so littered within that job description. So if there's a match, then that's what is going to get you called to come in for the interview. And even then, you could do a phone interview, you can do one interview with someone in person, one person, but then you've got to come back for a panel interview, where there's 3 or 4 people hitting you with some questions. And majority of those questions are scenario questions. Say for instance, if you were in an argument with a customer, how would you handle that customer? That's a scenario question. So again, these are things that the Texas Veterans Commission, the off-base transition training program does. We teach you how to do all these things and help you get that coveted job that you're looking for.
And I'm glad we're on this subject too, because the city of Dallas is a little different. And I say that because resumes, when you submit a resume, we encourage that if you want, trying to find employment with the city of Dallas. However, we actually still have analysts that literally read your application. So for us, and if you want to find employment with the city of Dallas, you can submit that resume, but in order to qualify for the position, it's all about your application. Totally different. Now, I know in this day and time, most people rely on resumes. We have a little disclaimer right on our application that tells you, most people don't ever see it. It says that your resume will not count for your qualifications. So basically, if you're trying to find employment with the city, the main thing, the key source to an interview with the city of Dallas is putting that information, your pertinent information, on the application itself. And I'm gonna tell you, that can transcend to other companies as well. Because as a former hiring manager with the city of Dallas, I've seen the resumes, I've seen all the hundreds and hundreds, actually thousands of applications that come in. And I'm gonna tell you, when certain positions that get 300 or 400 applications within that one pool, when that hiring manager go through to try to find the best qualified candidate, he looking for the first thing that he see, and that's that application. So you want to have a great resume, but you want to have a greater application. Okay, that's key to getting employment, because I like to tell people, your application is literally your first interview. And what you put on it is going to determine if you get called for the second interview. So you want to always, I'm telling you, because when hiring managers looking at they have so many applications that they have to weed through. You want to always make sure you putting something that's major on that application up front, so when they see it, it's going to stand out amongst all the other applications. So you want to make sure you always have a tight application. Make sure that that information is relevant to the position that you're applying for as well. So this is really my area of expertise, because this is what I do literally every day and night. Matter of fact, I got an email last night, I guess about 10:30, 11 o'clock from Chris. I'm on the computer, guess what I'm doing? I'm looking at applications, because I go through hundreds and hundreds of applications all day, every day, 7 days a week, trying to qualify people for positions. So it's all about that application, people. And let me tell you something, if you're trying to find employment, the first thing that you want to do is read the experience column. It's like an open book test. Those hiring managers put that information, when we create a job posting, the experience column or the minimum qualifications or the qualification area, it's gonna tell you exactly what they're looking for. And I see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of applications all day, every day, where people may be applying for an IT position and they're a truck driver. And how in the world you think you're gonna qualify for an IT position when all you do is drive trucks? Look, people, read the minimum qualifications. That's the first thing you always want to do. Because if you read them, you'll know yourself if you really qualify for that position or not. If you do qualify for it, don't just put words, just simple words, this and that. Explain, let that hiring manager know what you know about this position. You know what you're doing. You ain't got to go into great detail, but you do want to put bullet points. You do want to let them put enough information that they understand, hey, this guy right here knows this job. This is the guy I'm looking for right here. So your application is it's going to always be the most important process of you getting hired. It starts with the application, okay?
Desiree B says, yes, that application was important for me to get the Veteran Treatment Coordinator position in the city of Dallas.
Awesome.
Wait a minute, I might know you.
Oh, that's Desiree. That's okay. What's up, Desiree? I'm glad.
Wait a minute.
That's Desiree.
That's a good plug. We didn't know just by your name, but you put that title on there. We know you. Thank you. Veterans Treatment Court in Dallas.
As a matter of fact, we bringing Desiree on one of our shows. We got to get you on, Desiree, because they are doing a great job with the veteran community. They represent some of the veterans that's unfortunately been touched by the system. Mm-hmm. And they have so many resources. We got to get you on, Desiree. Matter of fact, I've already told Chris, we actually bringing you on the team.
Can't wait to see you.
Yes.
Just speak back, just 2 caveats for what Kevin said. The application, TVC actually does applications. You may never see your resume. They're going to look at that application. So it's important when you're putting in for a job, read all the fine print to see what they're looking at. Because if you're doing this stellar resume and they're only looking at the applications, you've just wasted your time because you focused on the wrong thing up front. And I know in a lot of TVC applications, simple questions will trip people up. What days are you not available to work? Monday through Friday. You didn't read it.
Yeah.
It said, what days are you not available to work? The job description says 10% travel. It asks you, are you available for travel? How much are you available for travel? You put 5%. Well, it said you need 10%. So if it's an application, read it all. I wouldn't hit submit, walk away from it, come back and reread it or have somebody check it for you, because that application might be what you need to get your foot in the door, and then focus on your resume. That's huge. And the second thing to take away from that, Kevin works too much. 10:30 at night, I am not checking your emails.
That is a bit much.
7 days a week. If you email me on Sunday, look for my response on Monday.
I wish my boss was on this live where they could hear that, but unfortunately, I text her and let her know this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm at. However, yeah, with a workload that I carry, I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. I have to work like that in order to handle the workload, because we have so many positions. Right now, as soon as I leave here, I gotta go get 15 jobs postings ready for this weekend, which is tomorrow.
Which
So,
lets you know, City of Dallas is always hiring.
always hiring. www.dallascityhall.com. Log on.
Yeah, you can
Fill out
tweak
that
it.
application and read those minimum qualifications.
There's a question that says, quantify resume and application.
As in the difference, or what it means
I'm
specifically?
believing that's the question.
An application tends to say like last name, first name, and all the little boxes that you fill in. Your education, your resume, however, is what you type in there, your name, your email, the jobs you've had, the dates you had them, the bullet points, what you did in those jobs. It's everything you type up to put on, I almost call it sometimes when I'm thinking about it, almost like a school paper. An application is a formatted form that you're filling in to answer exactly what they want to know about you.
Yeah.
So an application typically has been customized to the applicant tracking system. So you have the talent acquisition director or manager that has said, per job, this is how we want to see them apply when they come online. So for instance, there's qualifying questions. There may be, 10% travel, or there may be knockout questions. I know a lot of employers like Workday and ISIMs, applicant tracking systems, that allow for knockout questions. So we'll have questions in it that the hope is, I hate to say it, weeding out. How do we find the qualified candidates? What questions or what can we put in the application that would say, okay, we can consider them later on. And your resume is something that you create yourself. Your resume is something that you work with a TVC to create, because at the end of the day, the application is huge to moving forward, but the recruiter will end up looking at your resume because we have to submit something. And when we submit, typically it's done through the applicant tracking system or is done through email. So we'll submit the submittal, what is the qualifications, why you're a good fit, compensation alignment, but also we'll attach your resume. So, but I won't get to that point, or a recruiter typically won't get to that point until you pass the application within our career page.
And so that was a good question too, because technically that application, Chris, you hit it on the nail. So when you're creating a profile, that profile abstracts all of the information from the profile and it goes on to the application. There are certain questions that will be asked on that application. Like they say, they're trying to, first of all, they're getting information about you, first of all. Then they're gonna ask you about your employment history. They still wanna have some sense of what have you done and who are you and what you represent, okay? The resume itself will be something, like I say, at the city, we don't even read resumes when you first submit an application, because everything's supposed to be on the application up front. That resume comes in mind, so when you submit, when we find out or qualify you for a position and then generate a eligibility list, we then take that eligibility list of all of the qualifying candidates and send it to the hiring manager. Once the hiring manager gets that information, a lot of times, like I say, they'll open up the resume, but the main thing, that's why I say the application is the most important part, is because they really want to see that information up front. Now, if you got enough information on there that attracts that hiring managers, or get that hiring manager's attention, then he may open that resume because he want to know more. So you really go into more detail on your resume, but you want to put your most important information on the application to capture the hiring manager's attention. But that resume does play a significant role, because if you once you have captured that hiring manager's attention, then he may want to go deep and say, wait, I like this. I want to see what else he got. So when he click on that attachment and open up that resume, now he's getting the meat of everything that you've done. And so I manage our IT positions, and then our Department of Aviation as well. A lot of tech people, they'll speak one language on the application. Once you open up the resume, then you get the gist of everything. You get it all. You get all the meat on the resume. So I'm used to that. And matter of fact, while they say don't open up the resume to qualify people, in the IT world, I have to open up the resume. Because a lot of times the languages that they speak, it may not make sense to a lot of people that don't really know IT. I've been in IT long enough to I learned the languages. Matter of fact, I had to self-learn a lot of times. They got a website called Technopedia. It's like an encyclopedia for the tech world. And it basically translates everything, and so that you can understand the languages and then the different environments about the IT world. So I had to do that my first couple of years while I was managing all of the IT positions. But now I know all of those things because I've been doing it long enough. But yeah, so the resume really is the meat. It's the meat, but you want to make sure again that you. And here's another thing. A lot of time people submit resumes or they may apply for a position. They might apply for multiple positions within the same department or the same company. But you can't submit the same information.
That part.
If you're applying for one position, you have to customize or tailor your application based on what the position that you're applying for.
Please.
So in other words, customize each one of your applications based on the minimum qualifications of the position that you're applying for.
Mm-hmm. That is huge. That is huge. If I send a job to someone, I send them a few jobs and they come back within 20 minutes and tell me they applied for all those jobs, I know they're not getting any. Because they took one resume and sent it to everybody. And what we try to teach everybody and what our career advisors are really good at, your resume should be targeted. Every time you have one master resume, and from that one you build your other resumes. And you can title them, this is my admin resume, this is my IT resume. If you have an IT resume and you're applying for a help desk, well, that's gonna be different if you're applying for cyber crimes. You take your main one, you put that one over here and make it for cyber crimes, and then you target it. There's things in the job description, literal things they ask for, that should be in your resume. If they ask for a specific skill, that specific skill should be in your resume. And that one resume is just for that one job. It's always changing. You're always building on that resume. You can't keep submitting the same thing. It's just not gonna work. And IT is one of those few resumes that we're okay with telling people they can have more than 3 pages. If you have a 6-page resume, it better be a federal resume, okay? Because your resume, short of being IT, a doctor, or something like that, it should not be that long. Because he told you how long they're looking at it. Nobody's gonna make it to page 4 or 5.
Listen, I actually.
Let me go to page 2 on Google.
Yeah.
And this is, I'm not even exaggerating, not one bit. I literally saw an application where a person submitted, it was over 300 pages.
No, that was a dissertation.
Yeah.
They were working on their doctorate.
Yeah. I'm like, I showed it to everybody. I was like, I can't believe this.
300
Literally.
pages.
I'm like, what? This guy must have been working in a long time because he had a lot of time to put into that thing.
That was the story of his life.
Yeah. But no, we don't want it like that.
I had a trivia question for you though. When it comes to going over the applications, what's the average amount of time for you to go through that application, one application?
So it depends on the position. Some positions is real easy to find the experience. I have to say for my IT positions, typically I can spend as much as 15 minutes on one application.
Wow. Okay.
Because of the translations, the different, it all depends on the requirements and what they're looking for. So really, I think the IT positions are the most difficult ones for me. For me, it's 15 minutes with IT. Other applications, a lot of time, if the minimum qualifications are pretty simple, then it probably won't take no more than a minute or two, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Some requirements may have a certain set of requirements and then must include 3 or more of the following. So then you have to go chasing, looking for those, the first part of the requirement. Then you got to find, it may be 10 things on there, and you got to look through that list of 10 things to try to find at least 4 of them within the application along with the other requirements.
Yeah, certifications,
Yeah,
licenses.
yeah. So it just depends on how the job posting itself or the requirements are written up.
Pretty good.
Okay, all right. So I guess we're winding down, right?
Yep, I think we're coming out of time, so.
So we're getting close to time. So if there are any other questions that need to be concerning our conversation or our topic for the day, go ahead on and get it in right now because we're about to be closing.
Well, I would like to say if you're an organization and you need someone to come and present as to what the Texas Veterans Commission has to offer, feel free to email me or call me.
Get your information.
Yes, my email address is ronald.abrams, that's ABRAMS, at tbc.texas.gov. You have to spell Texas out, don't abbreviate. But that's ronald.abrams at tbc.texas.gov.
Okay, so my final things, 2 quick things. American Legion Virtual Job Fair. It's statewide. You can just Google American Legion Virtual Job Fair. It's for the entire state of Texas. They have over 50 employers now. Dress because they have the ability to see you in an interview. There's also an Empower Job Fair going on. You can Google that too, and it'll pull up the link. You can register for that. That's going to be an in-person. Both of these are in July.
And tell them, just real quick,
Yes.
tell them about Empower. That's a wonderful organization for veterans where you can actually get certified cybersecurity, all kinds of certifications.
Yes.
Guess what? For free. And your spouses, y'all.
Yes, and they added young adults, 18 to
Awesome.
24. So now your children, send them to school so they can
Dependents.
get IT training. So they're going to be having this resource fair where you can get more information about there. There'll be some employers there. DART will be there. Veterans Land Board will be there. There'll be a lot of people there. And again, the American Legion is going to be a big deal. Plug for TVC, we will be having an opening about August. We don't have openings very often, so if you're looking to get into TVC, Ron will tell you about it if you email him, because he gave his email address. Mine's a little longer, so I won't do it. And last thing from me, you heard how many people he said he has to go through for interviews. If you're interviewing, if you send a resume and you apply for a large company, have faith. It takes time.
Yes.
Hold on, they might reach out to you. Don't give up.
Yeah, keep applying too. Keep applying. And again, my information is kevin.belcher at dallascityhall.com. If you have any questions for me concerning employment with the city of Dallas, feel free to email me. Chris?
And I would recommend, lastly, to follow Mr. Abrams. If you're an employer that's wanting to hire, they will do the training. I leverage and I partner with the Texas Veterans Commission for the last 4 to 5 years. I don't do my own training. I bring them in, I bring the professionals because she brings that folder with her, and that folder goes with your recruiters. So they have something tangible. They have something tangible they can take with them. They'll do the full training. I did it with Hilton North America, I think 3 years ago, where they came in above 40 recruiters, and I think it was like 10 hiring HR representatives. TVC did the whole training. It was a lunch and learn. They taught interview practices, resume writing, how to understand jobs, and it's all for free. So it doesn't cost anything. I would definitely recommend emailing, asking them, and seeing when their availability is to come and talk to your team.
We're here to help.
All right, well, thank you, each one of you, for coming out today, for tuning in to Community Coffee, and have a happy 4th of July, Independence Day.
End of August. Our next one.
And our next community will be at the end of August, okay? So enjoy yourself, have a safe holiday and a wonderful weekend. God bless.
God bless.